lies in front of you is the 2021 Audi A5 Sportback with 10,000 miles. Now, the Audi A5 was originally introduced in 2007 and was primarily sold as a coupe or a cabriolet, but is now popularly sold as a sedan or sportback, as this one is. Since its inception, there have been two generations of the Audi A5, the first one being introduced in 2007, the second one being introduced in 2016. This A5 in specific is part of the second generation, and is equipped with a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine which produces 261 horsepower. This A5 also is equipped with a 7-speed automatic transmission and contains a 12-volt lithium-ion battery to enhance its fuel economy, and this vehicle is also mainly aimed to compete with the BMW 3 and 4 Series as well as the Mercedes-Benz C-Class. In this video, I'll be taking around the Audi A5 Sportback, taking it for a spin, and concluding the video with my takeaway point. Stay tuned. So doing a couple exterior body shots with the A5 Sportback. I want to start at the grille. You have this kind of honeycomb, almost like chain pattern in the grille with the Audi rings logo right in the center. You have these long swooping LED headlights. It's a really fierce looking grille of the Audi A5 Sportback. It's a really imposing and fierce looking grille to this vehicle. So from a side portfolio of the Audi A5 Sportback, as you can see, it is a large looking vehicle. As I said before, it's made to compete with the BMW 3 and 4 Series as well as the Mercedes-Benz C-Class. When my friend who owns this vehicle actually first showed up, I thought it was an Audi A6 just because of how large it is, but it's actually the A5 Sportback. As you can see, you have a very large back seat of the vehicle as well. And it's a really just sporty overall atmosphere and design of this vehicle. It's made to look like, a fun and practical vehicle. And just continue with the exterior styling of the Audi A5 Sportback. As you can see, you have your 5-spoke wheel, very cool. And as I said before, this is the S-line trim of the A5 Sportback. It is not the S5, but it is the S-line trim of the A5. And one other exterior features I want to point out is you have these really nice hood lines, just to add to the very sporty and rugged atmosphere on the exterior styling of the A5. So assessing the trunk space of the 2021 Audi A5 Sportback, as you can see, you have ample room in the trunk. This is the Sportback. And the one thing I want to point out is the trunk of this vehicle lifts up extremely high. As you can see, with the body, the roof line of the A5 Sportback is like here. And just look how much higher the trunk goes in this vehicle. Gives you a ton of access to the trunk in case you have a larger or more cumbersome item. As you can see here, I have a full-size suitcase in the trunk with plenty of room left to spare. If you want to fit golf clubs, a briefcase, or any other large items in case you're going on a road trip, you have plenty of room in your A5 Sportback. And one cool feature of this A5 Sportback in specific, this is the blackout package, which means it has black accenting. Where the black outline around the windows is in this vehicle, it is supposed to be chrome, but since this is the blackout package, it is black. And the same also goes for the grille. The grille is normally supposed to be a chrome grille, but with the blackout package, you have the black honeycombish grille, which adds just a really nice accent to the white exterior paint. Very nice. Alrighty, moving beneath the hood of the Audi A5 Sportback, you have Audi's 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, which produces 271 horsepower. Two cool little, Easter eggs or hidden features of the Audi A5 Sportback. The battery of this vehicle is actually in the trunk, and also, if you look, you will not see the windshield wiper fluid. You might be wondering, where is that? Audi decided to place it in a very convenient location, right behind the actual hood in this little corner. A really weird feature. I don't know why Audi decided to hide your windshield wiper fluid back here, if you want to get a bit of a farther look of where it is in proximity to the actual engine. But that is the engine of the Audi A5 Sportback. So moving into the cockpit of the 2021 A5 Sportback, as you can see here, you have Audi's really high-tech gauge cluster. You can see you have your tachometer on the left, you have your navigation in the center, which I selected it to, and then you have your very large digital speedometer on the right. One really cool thing about the gauge cluster, as you can see, you can change it into a variety of ways. All you gotta do is click the view button on your steering wheel, and you can use these little arrows to scroll throughout the thing. If you want to keep your default screen with your fuel economy or in your fuel tank, you can see that, your radio, your Apple CarPlay, and then your navigation. A lot of people probably mentioned this in Audi videos, but I really like the full screen navigation in case you're going on a long road trip. Instead of looking at the screen a little bit to the right of you, you can look straight into your gauge cluster and see your directions right in front of you. It's a really large display. The video really doesn't do it justice, like how like wide the screen is. It's also crystal clear, and you still have everything like important you need when you're driving down the road, like your tachometer and your speedometer on the right, with the navigation right in front of you, all in one very safe and convenient area. So continuing with the interior of the A5 Sportback, to the left of the steering wheel, as you can see, you have two memory seats in case you have multiple drivers of your A5 and want to have one preferred point of seating versus your other driver. You can just put them on the memory seats. And to the left of the steering wheel as well, you have a little storage cubby right here. It's actually a really deep storage cubby, pretty much like fit my entire hand in here in case you want to store some items, which is pretty convenient right by your steering wheel in case you want to put some items here. And also, if you want to pop the hood of the A5, if you look down by your feet, by the pedals, you have your hood pop right on the bottom left. So moving to the center stack of the Audi A5 Sportback, you have your screen at the very top, very large screen. I will get to that momentarily. Moving below the screen, you have your climate settings, all your AC features right here. Moving below this, you have a 12-volt outlet, a little USB right here, your engine ignition button right here. You have two cup holders right here, and below this, you have a little storage pouch right here, and then you have your gear lever. The gear lever of this vehicle kind of reminds me of a manual a little bit because your park is kind of where neutral is. Kind of a cool little feature. Upshift, reverse, neutral drive down below. If you want to switch this car into manual, you can put your hand on the shifter, move it over to the right, and you'll have the option to do it in manual mode. You also have paddle shifters to control what gear you're in as well, instead of the old-fashioned clutch. And also, as you can see here, to put the vehicle in park, you press a little P on the actual shifter itself. Plus, you also have your physical parking brake, in case you don't want to put it just in P. And then you have a nice leather-wrapped storage center console right here, and a little spot right here for wireless phone charging as well, in case you want to charge your phone while going down the highway. So moving to the center screen of the Audi A5 Sportback, you have your very large screen right above the center stack of the vehicle. Like I said, video really doesn't do it justice of how large the screen is. It's a very large screen, and I really do enjoy how the center stack is just slightly tilted towards the driver, just, Audi reminds you that this is a driver-focused vehicle. Anyways, back to the screen, as you can see here, very responsive to your touch. Literally, like as I swipe, it will go right to that. As I said before, you have your navigation, really high tech. In case you don't want to see it in your gauge cluster, you can see it on this very large screen. Going back to your home, you have some like pretty cool features in here. Very high tech. All your nice settings. You have Apple CarPlay, which is very nice. All your phone settings, in case you want to do your wireless talk, text, whatever. You have a little more fancier stuff. You want to purchase different apps or things in your Audi A5. You can set stuff to your calendar in case you have important things you have to do and you want your car to remind you. Different users in case you have multiple drivers of your A5, as I said before. But overall, it's a really high-tech screen, very nice technology, and just very overall high-tech quality you'd expect to get in a luxury sedan. Alrighty, and so moving to the air conditioning features of the Audi A5, one thing that's really cool is if you just put your finger to these little tabs, it will highlight the various settings. To actually change them, you do have to actually push the little levers, but it's pretty cool as how when you hold your finger over them, it will highlight them to kind of just tell you that Audi is recognizing your touch. And besides this, you have your pretty standard features. You have 3 different heated seat settings, your defrosters for the front and rear, and it's pretty cool as you change the temperature in your A5, you will see the numbers change directly on the dial instead of on a little screen. Pretty cool overall. And one last thing, if you want to be wondering how you adjust the radio settings, there are not on the actual dials over here. There's a little button or little dial over here to adjust the radio settings, just to make sure you aren't changing the radio when you go to change the AC. So moving to the rear seats of the Audi A5 Sportback, as you can see, the driver's seat is pushed really far back actually, and I still have like a decent amount of legroom. I'm not sitting like a lounge chair, but I still have a good amount of legroom. One of the nice feature for the rear passengers, they have a little storage pouch on both the driver's side and passenger side seats. As well, you have just really nice high quality leather interior as you do in the front. Really nice stitching on the seats with the black leather interior. Really comfortable, just plush leather for very comfortable driving in the vehicle. And overall, I have a good amount of headroom too. You think it'd be a little shorter because it's a Sportback, but I still have a pretty healthy amount of headroom back here in the back seat of the A5 Sportback. And one other cool interior feature in the rear of the A5, you have a little armrest and cup holders for the rear seat passengers. As you can see, the cup holders come in this little hidden compartment when they're folded down. To open them, you just press this little button in the corner right here, and they will fold open like so, revealing 2 cup holders for both of your rear seat passengers. And if you want to hide the armrest, just fold it right back up, and you're back to the flushed rear interior of the A5 Sportback. And 2 cool other little features on the A5 Sportback, as I said before. This is the S-line trim of the A5, not the S5, it's the S-line trim of the A5. But pretty cool, you have your S-line badge on the interior door paneling when you're going to walk into the vehicle. And also you have the extra leg support, as this is the sport trim. You have the sport seats, so if you fold this up a little bit, you have extra support for your legs in case you want a little more comfort while driving down the highway. Alrighty, so getting behind the wheel of the 2021 Audi A5 Sportback. The first thing I'll point out is the gas and the brakes are much firmer than I expected them to be. They feel like almost like a truck gas pedal. It's very firm and you have just a very stiff driving or gas pedal and brake on this vehicle. One thing too is it's a very smooth riding vehicle. Like right out the back, you can tell it's very smooth, comfortable ride. You're just going down the highway, just coasting the vehicle. It's very just comfortable. One thing that's kind of surprised me a little bit is it's very quiet too. Not that luxury vehicles shouldn't, but it almost reminds me of like a lesser S-Class. When I was in the S-Class, you were insulated. There's almost no road noise, and there's very minimal road noise for a near entry-level Audi sedan, which is impressive. It's just a really high quality insulation to the road. It's very quiet, very peaceful, just a nice serene driving experience. But going down the back road, it's just a very high quality interior of this vehicle. It's just very the steering wheel is a really thick, just comfortable leather interior. Got this nice, very smooth seating. It's very high-end quality materials that you'd expect to get when you're buying a brand new Audi. But just a very enjoyable vehicle. Just very planted steering. Very tight into the road. It's got very solid handling that you'd expect to get. I haven't been in a newer Beamer or a Benz, but Audi, brand new Audis are just phenomenal in my opinion. You have very high quality tech, very nice materials, a very pleasant driving experience, and just I always say this in a lot of videos. As I said in almost all my videos, I'm a truck guy. I drive a Ford F-150. But the one company who I always said I like their sedans more than their SUVs is Audi. And not to say their SUVs aren't good. I mean, I think Audi SUVs are very nice. The Qs are very nice, but just their sedans, they took they stepped up their game so intensely over the last generation compared to many other brands. Just when you see an Audi just going down the road, you just almost look at it and you're damn, just it's a very nice quality car, an eye-catching car, which is props to Volkswagen and Audi for refining their body style for a much higher end car. One thing I want to point out too, as I mentioned it numerous times while going through the interior of this vehicle, I love the navigation right in front of you. I can see the exact road that I'm on. It's very detailed. It's very crisp, clear quality picture, and it's up to date, or up to the exact moment where I'm driving. There's no lag in it. Just nice, high quality screen. It's just cool to see. I can see the exact path that I'm going to be going on for the next couple portions of the road. The vehicle's got very solid pep too. It's got 271 horsepower, very solid performance. If you hit the gas, you can just feel the car. It's got plenty of power. It's a German vehicle. Every Audi or Volkswagen product that I've driven has been extremely smooth. It's very comfortable. Every German car, it's excellent for it's built for driving and just better performance overall. Making a bit of a turn right here. Yeah, like I said, the one thing, the brakes are a little bit firmer than I expected it to be for a sedan. Usually the brakes and the gas are a little more cushier. You can they're a little bit more spongier. These are a bit stiffer. It kind of gives me vibes of my truck's brakes and gas pedal. Well, it's a bad thing, but just much firmer than I'm used to for a sedan. Making that turn though right there, it's very smooth. It's like you're cutting butter. It's just a very smooth turning vehicle, very comfortable, and just it's a very smooth vehicle, which is awesome, But overall, though, I was giving my last little bit of just feedback on the driving experience of this vehicle. Plenty of visibility, very nice, very comfortable vehicle, and overall, just very pleasant and enjoyable car to drive. The no road noise is awesome. It's smooth, it's comfortable. So just props to Audi for making a very comfortable and enjoyable daily driver. It is now time for the interview section. We're going to answer 5 generic questions one would ask when going to purchase a vehicle. Question number 1 of the interview section is, what is my favorite feature of the Audi A5 Sportback? And that is the overall high tech in this vehicle and the overall interior quality. As I said before, I love the screen. You can see different gas stations, with their actual logo, pharmacies, what highway route it is, different street signs. All it's really precise, just very nice quality and detail. So that is my favorite feature of the Audi A5 Sportback. It's a great tech. So question number 2 of the interview section is, what is my least favorite feature of the Audi A5 Sportback? And 2 things to be a little bit nitpicky. 1, as I mentioned in my 2009 Audi A4 review, Audi's center consoles are very weird where, you can lift it up, which is, fine, but, you want to put it back down. It doesn't go all the way back down. Literally you can, put, pressure on it, and this thing will not go down. It's, stuck here. The only way to actually put it down is by opening it all the way up, and then can you finally fold the center console down in the A4 or A5, pardon me. And one other feature that could just be a little nitpicky, instead of having the screen just kind of tacked to the top of the center stack, they could have maybe integrated it into the center stack. Not a horrible feature, but some people, when you're paying good money for an Audi, want the screen to be here. Or they could have done what they used to do, where they had it in some of the Audi SUVs where it folded down into the center console. Not that it's a horrible thing, but just being a little bit nitpicky. Maybe they could have integrated the screen a little bit better. Question number 3 of the interview section is, what is the most unique or weird feature of the Audi A5 Sportback? And that would be the windshield wiper fluid location. As I showed you earlier in the video, they kind of just tuck the windshield wiper fluid into a corner. Don't really know why they put it there instead of in a different spot underneath the hood. Maybe they ran out of room, but still a very odd compartment that I'm sure many people have complained about or looked up because I couldn't find where their windshield washer fluid was located. Question number 4 of the interview section is the Audi A5 Sportback worth its value? And I would say yes. I believe these start in the low 40s and can go up to into the 50s depending on what trims you get. But for the amount of high tech you're getting, the very nice interior quality and comfort, and just the overall just pleasant driving experience and quiet just road noise, I would say the Audi A5 is worth its value. And question number 5 of the interview section is, would I ever want or own the Audi A5 Sportback? And the answer is yes. I really do like the design of the Sportback of this vehicle. I think it's a really I'm a fan of wagons and hatchback. This is technically a hatchback, but I really like the exterior styling of this vehicle. I love the high tech. The road noise, very nice. And as I said before, I like Audi sedans. I haven't been in a new Beamer or a Benz or a brand new Lexus or other many luxury companies, but Audi does a damn good job with their sedans. I think this would be a great car as a daily driver. So yes, I would want the Audi A5 Sportback. So this is the takeaway point, where I essentially give my final impression and overall opinion of the vehicle I just reviewed. I felt this was a more concise, less opinionated version of my old scoring scale. So without further ado, this is the takeaway point. Just from a distance perspective, this is a great looking car. Audi really nailed the design of the current A5 Sportbacks. This car possesses an exterior which looks agile, modern, and luxurious without screaming it in your face with any exaggerated designs. The Sportback really is an eye-pleasing additive to the styling of this vehicle, which really gives the A5 the sporty aura which Audi was aiming for. Plus, the trunk space is amazing with the Sportback rear, and you can never go wrong with extra storage. As far as the interior, the tech is phenomenal. The navigation infotainment screen has remarkable clarity and response times, and it lists the high-quality features one expects when buying a modern luxury sedan. The two most noticeable surprises of the A5 to me were the interior noise insulation and the firm pedals. The A5 Sportback has an impressively quiet interior cabin, with minimal road noise nearly to that of the Mercedes-Benz S-Class I reviewed a while back. The silent cabin was a feature which I really enjoyed. However, the pedals were oddly heavy in the A5, feeling truckish as I mentioned before. This is not a deal breaker by any means, as I'm sure you get used to this within time, but a bit offsetting at a first response. In terms of ownership, it's easy to ridicule Audi/VW's less than stellar reputation for reliability. However, as I have never owned a German vehicle myself, if you're looking for an attractive, practical, and enjoyable daily driver with strong tech, the Audi A5 Sportback is a great option to consider, as this is a legitimate contender in the mid-sized luxury sedan segment. Thank you so much for watching my review of the 2021 Audi A5 Sportback. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out some of my other reviews, and if you can tolerate seeing my face enough, feel free to hit that subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated. Stay tuned for more reviews in store, and again, thanks for watching.